Orphism. Orphism, also known as Orphic Cubism or Orphic Abstraction, was an influential art movement that emerged in the early 20th century, particularly between 1909 and 1914. The term Orphism was coined by the French poet and art critic Guillaume Apollinaire. The name Orphism is derived from Orpheus, a figure in Greek mythology associated with poetry and music. The artists of the movement aimed to create visual poetry and evoke a sense of rhythm and harmony through their use of color and form. The movement was founded by artists Robert Delaunay and his wife Sonia Delaunay-Terk, and their work was characterized by vibrant colors, geometric shapes, and a sense of dynamism. Orphism sought to evoke emotions and sensations through the use of color and form rather than a strict representation of the visible world. Delaunay played a crucial role in developing its principles. He was particularly interested in the effects of light and color, aiming to capture the dynamic energy of modern life through his artwork. Sonia Delaunay was a pioneering artist in her own right. She collaborated with her husband on many projects and shared his fascination with color. Sonia's work extended beyond painting into various applied arts, including textiles and fashion design. Her innovative use of color and geometric patterns had a lasting impact on the world of design. Orphism, as an art movement, was influenced by several key factors that shaped its development and distinctive characteristics. Here are some of the main influences on Orphism. Orphism drew inspiration from Neo-Impressionism and artists like Seurat and Signac, particularly in terms of color theory and the use of contrasting hues to create visual impact. Robert and Sonia, for example, were influenced by the Neo-Impressionist technique of pointillism, where small dots of color are applied to the canvas, and they incorporated this influence into their own explorations of color and form. Orphism emerged as a response to Cubism, another influential art movement of the early 20th century. While Cubism broke down objects into geometric shapes and fragmented forms, Orphism took these ideas further by emphasizing the emotional and dynamic potential of color. While Orphism shared some characteristics with Cubism, it diverged by placing a stronger emphasis on abstraction. The artists sought to move beyond the mere representation of objects and instead focused on the expressive potential of color and form to convey emotions and sensations. Fauvism, with its bold use of color and rejection of traditional representational techniques, had a significant impact on Orphism. Artists associated with Fauvism, such as Henri Matisse and André Derain, explored the expressive power of color, influencing the Orphists' interest in color as a primary means of artistic expression. Symbolism, a late 19th century movement that focused on expressing emotions and ideas through symbols and suggestive imagery, also played a role in shaping Orphism. The emphasis on conveying deeper meanings and emotions aligns with Orphism's goal of creating visual poetry. Orphism was not confined to the visual arts, it also influenced music, dance, and literature. Guillaume Apollinaire, a poet and art critic associated with the movement, played a key role in promoting and defining Orphism. He coined the term and wrote extensively about its principles. The rapidly changing urban and industrial landscape of the early 20th century had a profound impact on the Orphists. The energy, speed, and dynamism of modern life influenced their desire to capture a sense of movement and change in their artwork. Orphist artists were deeply interested in color theory and the emotional impact of colors. They explored the simultaneous contrast of colors, where placing complementary colors side by side heightened their vibrancy. This approach aimed to evoke an emotional response from the viewer. The Orphism movement had a lasting impact on the development of abstract art. The emphasis on color, form, and emotion laid the groundwork for subsequent movements such as Abstract Expressionism, which emerged in the mid-20th century.